Alright everybody, so on the sports massage, what you're going to do if you just want to get relief to your athlete or to warm up the muscles, what I normally start to do is start at the feet. So when I'm starting at the feet, all I'm doing is grabbing and going up the leg. And I'm going to show you a closer view in just one moment, and then after going up to the kneecap, I'll be on top of the table, knees here, and I'm always going to be pressing cat presses or elephant, tiger walk, whatever you want to name it. That's what you're going to do. Oh, Lord. Okay, so when you're mounting the table, I normally have one knee already on the table before I even begin. So my knee's here. I'm just going to grab those feet. You can do it slowly or fast if you want to, but sports massage, it's going to be kind of quick. So you don't really have time to be slow and methodical and trying to give a good Thai massage for a sports event. All you're going to pretty much want to do is warm up your client, get that blood going, the lymphatic system going, arteries, veins, venules, all that good stuff to warm them up. So all I'm doing is pressing in on the calves. Because mostly for running, you're going to do a lot of calf and quads, hamstring type of work. So now on the table, knees with her knees to knees. So when you're at your knees, you can actually just do some circles. I do it vigorously because pretty much all your quads are going to attach at the kneecap, pretty much medial, the top part, and lateral, because your rectus femoris, vastus intermedius, those two are going to hook at the top of the knee. Those are two quads already, so you only have two more. Vastoralis medialis, or medial side, then you have the vastoralis muscle lateral side, excuse me. So those four main quads are going to hook right in here at this kneecap. So you kind of want to do really fast circles, jostling, some kneading, whatever you need to do to really dig in there. It's going to be a little painful, but that's okay. Athletes, they need it. This is ligament and tendon. So that's why it's more painful, more ligament than tendon. So you warm up, get right on here in the medial with your thumbs, and you're really doing it vigorously. You're not doing slow. You can do slow, but I'm more fast. Get the athlete where they need to go. So now you just palm press, bring your body up, and ask your client, you're looking at their face, they're breathing to make sure that they're not squinting or like you're too heavy, because sometimes clients are too, or therapists are going to be too heavy for the client. But not always. Got some big humans out there. And then so for the hip section, remember, hips, they need to be pressed on. It may seem like it's very sensitive area, which it is. There are a lot of visceral organs in the stomach and lower areas, and plus our genitalia area is right down there too. So you don't want to go in the middle and be pressing somewhere. That's a no-no. But at the hip bone right in here, you kind of just go slow. There's a lot of hip muscles. TFL, pectineus, pubic symphysis, all that good stuff. That's more in the middle, but they all get or originate from that hip area. And then they go to the V-line or down. So then after your palms, you're just going right back down. Be careful of the kneecap. Go over. Kneecaps again. And then as you're getting down, both hands on the side, one knee at a time. And off the table, get those calves. And if they have no shoes on or just socks, get right in here at the heel. Get those feet. Happy feet. That's it. Alright, so when you're working the quads and the client, they're saying, hey, I pulled something. Remember those quads as thumb presses, you can press in and trying to go up, because you're pretty much just trying to move this muscle either towards the bone. You can go away from it, but I try not to go away because you can cause ripping. These muscles are super tight in the hip area. So if you cause ripping there, they can't run or perform. So you pretty much, you just want to loosen up the quad area. But remember, during an event, I'm normally working. I'm really fast. I'm like, here you go, get you moving. And remember those side glutes, minimus and medius. You just thumb. You don't have to use your thumbs. You can use knuckles, whatever you need to use. But remember, these are vital muscles that need to be worked, that people overlook. T-band, and then double thumbs. And I'm just preparing that athlete for their race. Nothing deep, nothing crazy, because once you injure these athletes, you have no idea where they're going next. A contract could be in their future. You just injured them, now their dreams are shot. So just be careful. Okay, so when you're working the quad and the client's leg is off the table, being off the table, this means they can bend their leg and do active release therapy, your art, and pin and stretch those muscles, so when she's moving up and down, those muscles are getting a good stretch. And I'm going to be going up the leg all the way up to the origin. So as she's here, you can stand in front of her leg, but if you get chopped in the balls or something, it'll be tragic. You'll need the sports massage. So you stand to the side, so like kind of like your shin to her shin or tibia to her tibia on the outside, but you don't have to touch the client. Just make sure you're in line with her. So this foot steps back, these two thumbs, they're pressing in, and she's just gonna do her movements, pretty much extending the leg. Or flexing the hip, extending the leg both sides, because she's going back and forth. So then I move up, and it is kind of painful because remember, those quads are sensitive, especially the rectus femoris is which one I'm working on right now. And I'm pushing in because I wanted to get deep into the vastoralis medialis or intermedialis, intermedius, however you want to pronounce it. Now, if the client needs more than just thumb pressure, you can use your palm pressure and lean into it. So see how I took a step back and then I lean into her quads, but that might be a little bit too much. So just make sure you check in with your athlete. And if they need super pressure, then you will have to use your elbows. And if they need even more pressure than that, curl the elbow in to where it's a point. Get right in there, hand on your shoulder, and then really press in there. But that could be painful, trust me. So then that's the one active release off the table. Alright, so now we're on the back side of the body. And so remember, the front side is kind of the same thing. That knee goes on the table. You make sure your client know, hey, we're going to be on top of the table. Now, it's not going to be anything crazy because you got your clothes on. And even if you didn't have your clothes on, you still tell them what you're going to do. It's kind of creepy to have somebody crawling on the table. You know what's going on. Especially the athletes, they go to sleep sometimes. They're tired. They didn't even get rest that night prior because they're so, they're worried about the event. Just like you're taking a test and you're scared about that test the next morning, you don't even get any sleep. It's the same thing for athletes. They worry about the game day or the day of, performing. They get like maybe a half an hour of sleep. So they're asleep on that table sometimes. So they don't know you're climbing on the table and it can startle them. So just be careful. quads, or so sorry, hamstrings and glutes and the calves. So the hamstrings, well, I named them first because we're not going to work on them first. Then the glutes, the calves, I'm really going to work on first because the hamstrings and calves, or hamstrings and glutes, they're kind of attached. Well, they are attached to each other. So we're going to work them kind of last. So these quad, or Jesus, why can't I say quad? These calves are super, super tight. Most of your athletes are going to be doing workouts to where these muscles, they get constricted and they get knots on the top side, especially on the long head. The short head, not so much, and then solely it's not so much, but the long head on this side, it gets compacted. Remember, it's closer to the kneecap. Kneecap bends. Whenever you have a bend, it's like a kink in a hose. The hose could be going 100,000 miles an hour, fire hose, whatever, but as soon as you put a kink in it, like a bend, just like your leg bending, it cuts off blood and circulation. You get a knot up here. Like, muscle can't get blood, and that's why you get those athletic, huge calves. It may be a good thing for looking purposes, but it's almost like it's not getting enough water or nutrients and all the other good stuff. So when you're in here, you're just doing your little jostling moves, your petrissage, or you can't really do effleurage, and you're just moving those muscles out of the way, off the bone. And it's kind of painful a little bit, but it's going to be okay. And we will get a closer view in just a moment. It's just a warm up. So remember, your knees on the table, other knee comes up, other knee comes up again. Kneecap to kneecap, you're doing good. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually separating the short head from the long head. So I'm pushing, and I want that soleus to move as well. So I'm just like going to the outside of her body. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Everything is about separating that muscle. Be careful of the kneecap. Now back here where your popliteus muscle is, and your plantaris muscle, or plantaris muscle, you can work in here. A lot of people say stay away from this area. I don't. I like when somebody works the back of my kneecaps, or the PCL, the posterior cruciate ligament. It's right in here, just circles. Nothing too deep. You don't want to cause any type of problems. Or a PCL tear. Yes, it's very, very painful. But I work this area all the time. Now, hamstrings, same thing like you were doing the calves or the gastrocs. You're just moving, not the glutes just yet, right where it folds. That's all. You stop and then come back down. Remember, medial side you can still get from the back side. Both of your thumbs, you're just grabbing those legs, but then you're pulling away, like you're just pulling the medial side away from the medial side. You're just trying to go lateral, 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 lateral. Thumbs right into the fold of the glute. So you're just moving, moving, moving. Remember, because that semimembranosus, semitendinosus is more medial. Membranosus, it's medial, or just think of M kind of in the medial side. Now you go up to the glutes, just like your elephant walking or whatever. You can go slow or you can go fast. Doesn't matter. I do go slower right around the glutes area because I know it's attached to the lower back. I don't really want to do anything that's going to hurt the athlete, but if they don't mind, they say faster, then you go faster. Forearms. Circles. Switch. Now for lower back, you can do it from the front side to where you're going to be standing right in front of her at the head, but you just make sure this knee comes kind of medial to the leg or hamstrings. This leg is going to come to the outside. It's nice if you have a pillow or a brace or something that's in between. You just don't want any problems. But for lower back, because remember, those glutes, they attach right up in here at the thoracolumbar fascia, and that's really, really thick connective tissue. And remember, lower back, anything higher than like T12, T11, going higher up, you know, to like T5, then you got your cervicals afterwards. We're not going that high. You just want to go T12, maybe T11. That's it. Medial side, or cutting the back in half. So stopping here. Almost where their bra, their sports bra is perfect. That's like my line. This is where I cut off. And that's pretty much my routine. That's all I do. So when you're dismounting, it's easier just to go off the table instead of going way back down. Your table should be at a correct